every time our lease ends, we add another Plaza Bay or two.
I love it.
Which is good. It's funny. Customers will come in and be like, "You were just over there."
I know.
Flip-flop
The
all
doors
the time.
change all the time.
And welcome back to another episode of Local Lens, where we highlight local business owners here in Sebastian, Vero Beach, and the Treasure Coast. I'm your host, John, alongside
Crystal,
my wife. We are in Riley Black Studios, a podcasting and content creating studio here in Sebastian. And this is a special one. They're all special, but this is a great one. On the show today, well known in the community, welcome Kayla from Southern Teas. How's it going?
Hi, good.
hi.
So, Southern Teas does all of our merch
shirts.
for this podcast, for our other podcasts, and really anything we need. And you have a great story. So tell us a little bit about like how you got into Southern Teas.
It was my very first job. I think I was 14.
Wow.
And so I worked there for about 2.5 years. And I actually, it got to the point, the owner was kind of taking her steps back because she has like a younger kid that was in school. So when I came in and I like handled it well, I guess, of taking the role over of always kind of managing everything, she kind of started to take her steps back where I was like fulfilling all the roles. All the customers knew me, all of the things. So when I was like, this is getting to be a lot for like a part-time job, and I'm doing dual enrollment because I left high school early to just do straight college and graduated at 16. So I'm like, this is kind of a lot of school and a lot in this just supposed to be a small little part-time job. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna decide to just do school full-time. And so when I told her that, I was like, maybe start my own business, because it's always been a thing of me just wanting to start my own business. But
That's awesome.
Knowledge-wise, I was like, medical field's a good career and I can do it school-wise. So there's like always been this like, what should I do? And so I was like, maybe I'll try to think of some type of business endeavor to do on my own while I go to school for a completely different career than where I am now. But and so when I told her that I was going to be leaving, she was like, oh my gosh, like, I think I'm just going to sell because I kind of threw it in your hands the last however long. And so I'm like, well, wait a second.
If you're selling.
Yes. So I bought the business at 17 and
That's
I've had it
amazing.
ever since, and I'm 21.
Wow.
What were you majoring for? What were you going to school
I
for?
was trying, my goal was a dermatologist.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. And then how did you just find it as like a part-time job? How did you find the...
Yeah, my parents, pretty much everyone I knew kind of went to like the local t-shirt shop. So I knew them by association almost. And when I was looking for a part-time job to do with school, I think it was my mom that mentioned to me like, hey, like she might need help up at the t-shirt shop, like where we get our shirts from and stuff. So when I went in there, she was like, all right, well, you want to start today? And then it just turned into I was there several days a week.
3 straight in,
Yeah, I got thrown right in, and I loved it because I've always been like really good at art and loved
Crafty.
the creative everything.
Yeah.
You name it. So I enjoyed the job. Like it was one that was fun because as soon as she said t-shirts, I'm like, that's stuff I would like to do for like just here and there.
Right.
So I enjoyed every second of it. Still do.
That's awesome.
That's how she got
I mean, yeah.
involved in like lasers, engraving, and stuff like that, doing
With shirts.
t-shirts.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I was gonna say that I'm a little jealous of your path, just because. So through school, I struggled in school because like I didn't know it, but ADHD and all that and stuff, and I never really knew what I wanted to do, and I was crafty, right? But I didn't have anyone around me that like was doing that kind of stuff
like
as a
shadow or
business,
be
right?
hands-on with
Yeah.
it.
My parents and my family, they all worked for other people. They did well and they were higher up, but like
Gotcha.
they didn't own a business. They weren't self-employed or,
Right.
did anything crafty and like paid the bills with it.
Yeah.
And so I did the traditional, route, and I went to school for 11 years for a degree that I don't use. And then
Sometimes
eventually,
it works out that
right?
way.
And then eventually, we left and moved to Florida, and I was able to do the t-shirts full time, but it was 35 before I figured out, what I liked.
No,
So
very
it's awesome
blessed
that
the
you
way
figured
that
it out
worked
so
out.
young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and she's here, but not on camera. So let's talk about the fact that a lot of people sometimes just assume that your mom, Dr. Amanda
time.
Hackford, is the owner.
So all 3 generations of our family work
That's
in the
amazing.
shop. I have my grandma. She
So
embroiders
sweet.
for us, and then my mom. She is there almost every day helping.
Yeah.
Because she's just an amazing mother.
Aw.
But so there's all 3 generations of us there. And so there's always people. I mean, I think everyone at the shop is older than me. So
Yeah.
normally if I'm up front and there's somebody else, a lot of people gravitate towards wanting to speak to the
Right.
owner, and they just assume. So, or they think they're more knowledgeable because obviously they're older than I am. So most of the time, if it's me or her or somebody else up front,
Yeah.
everyone else is older. So they'll come in and we'll both, we always all greet them,
Right.
and they'll look and be like, and they automatically
Right.
go to who's older. They're like, they'll help me better.
Right.
And so she often is like, well, that's the owner. She'll help you way better than me, because she'll just completely get lost if it's something that I know, and I really
Right.
can, because
Yeah.
she's helped for so long, but there's some stuff that not everybody there knows. So
Yeah.
she'll be like, actually, I might not be able to help you, but she will. She's the owner, and they're always like, oh, like it's so taken back, which is understandable.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
it happens all the time. I'm so used to it now.
So what all do you guys offer? So it's more than just shirts, but
Yeah.
shirts and
Custom
what else?
apparel in many ways, because we have screen printing, we have embroidery, we have direct-to-film, sublimation, but we also do like signage, promotional. People do their bins, their yard signs that are out front. Pretty much everything that like a business event anybody would need to try to put their branding on,
Yeah.
we can do.
Yeah, when we walked into, I think it was getting these shirts.
Mhm.
The last set you were doing the canopy.
Yes,
For-
Yeah.
like the
that was-
tents,
yeah,
the
the
tent
tents.
canopy. Most of the time, I mean, we have like lists of generic ideas to kind of give people
Right.
gauge
Mhm.
Yeah,
what
'cause some people
all
don't
we could
know-
do, because
yeah.
it's such a wide, broad spectrum. A lot of people will come in and they've been doing their shirts with us for years, and they hand me a business card and don't even know that we do them,
Right.
Right.
So it's little things like that. But normally we're working on projects and you can kind of see a little bit of everything from the
Uh-huh.
front. So people are like, I didn't know you did signs. I just got signs done. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, no problem. Like,
Yeah.
So we do almost everything. Not everybody knows that, but
Right.
a very wide array of products we're able to help with. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, you helped us. We also got our perforated film for the back of our vehicles.
Yes.
Yep.
from
Yeah.
and you
guys,
installed it amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
shoulda-
God.
shoulda-
Don't look
listen,
close.
from afar, it
It's
looks
rare
great.
that other people want to install, so it's exciting. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're gonna do great.
Right.
Yeah, not good.
Well, we're also
was-
like we were being cheap,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
But
like
it turned
I mean
out
he's
awesome.
he's pretty handy.
A little bit.
so
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
it looked
Yeah,
good.
I watched a lot of
That's funny.
YouTube videos.
That
before.
even I
True.
have to. That
Yeah.
helps. Sometimes you'll get like a tricky trailer or something. And I'm
Oh.
like, how do I deal with this very
Well, and like
odd?
my car, it was so curved and like
Yep.
it like
Yeah.
almost like oval shaped, so that like made it
vans are
difficult.
normally the tougher one. The curvature with perforated, it's not the funnest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even that we wouldn't have thought to ask you, but then we saw it on the front door.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was new, and we're like, "Wait, do you do those?" And you're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh,
That's the reaction all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, people will be writing with their pens and be like, "Wait, do you do this?" Yeah, we do. Not everybody knows it. We try to
Yeah.
advertise, of course. It's up
Yeah.
on like everything of random stuff, promotional items, but they might not realize the stress balls they just got is something we can do for them. you know?
Right,
Right.
right.
They just think it's something
So-
that you're like giving out along
Yeah,
with.
they don't know like we can actually do them for you.
Yeah.
Yes. How is it so young? Like when you first took over the business in your friend circle? Because I'm sure everyone's
Oh,
like
yeah.
going to school. Maybe they have a part-time job, but here you are with like your own business.
I feel like from a very young age, I've always been set apart in like maybe the maturity or growing up too fast aspect,
Mhm.
because everybody's still in high school and I'm completely in college full time.
Right.
So schedule's different already there, and just in most aspects of life. So the business wasn't really anything too new, because I've always been a little bit set apart with like the schedule and what I'm kind of handling or taking on compared to people around me. I've
Yeah.
also always gravitated towards older people, just I think maturity wise.
right.
Like almost all my friends are like 5 years older than
Yeah,
me. Just because in my age group there's not many of us, I always say, like,
right.
and so I just gravitate to people that have already kind of matured or in
Yeah.
a more grown up than where I should be at my age.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of one of those things that I've always been used to. The schedule is different. Like when you own a business, you are always working.
Yeah.
Always.
Which you can still have a balance of life, but it's just one of those things. People will ask me all the time, why can't you just take off work and come here? Because sometimes people's schedules, they're
Right.
open, they don't have like a
Right.
9-to-5 job. And I'm like, you don't understand how behind I'll get if I disappear for
Right.
a day.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. Not everyone understands the gravity of a business owner
Yeah.
role because it's 24/7. You kind of have to have your hands in it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could take off all day Monday, but then I come in on Tuesday and everybody at the shop, I stressed out because I was
Right.
gone. So I have
Yeah.
to really think about things. You don't have a similar lifestyle to the people so
Yeah.
young like me. But
Well, you guys just went to Mexico for your 21st birthday.
yes, I did.
And like I can imagine, same with us. When we leave for a week or something, we have all this work before we
Yes.
leave,
Right.
and then as soon as you get back,
catch
and then
up.
so sometimes it's like, it's somewhat relaxing while you're there, but you're still
Yeah.
thinking about
It's
like the
constantly
emails
spinning.
are still
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah,
and
worried what happened and anything bad happened I got to take care of when I get back. I have an
Right.
amazing team, so I'm very grateful. All the people at my shop always handle it
They
so
are.
well.
They're so
Most of the
great.
time my mom will take over if it's not her going with me somewhere. I try not to take off like day by day or sick and just push through so I can take the trips. I try
Yeah.
to like set times where I can
Save
actually
up.
go somewhere that
Yeah.
way, because if I take off throughout the year it makes it where I can't
You
go
drink
anywhere.
the Diet Coke so you can eat the full sugar cake.
Yeah, exactly. I push through when I feel like crap, so that way
Yeah.
I could go to
Yeah.
Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing you guys you actually just added events and stuff too, right?
Yes, we added a party room. We are in a Plaza Bay, and we slowly,
Taking over.
every time our lease ends, we add another Plaza Bay or
I know, I
two.
love it.
Which is good. It's funny. Customers will come in and be like, "You were just over there."
I know
Flip-flop
the
all
doors
the time.
change all the
Doors, yeah.
time. We just went last week, and I was like, "Wait, which door is it? Did they switch again?"
I
He was
know.
like, "Yeah, they switched again." I was
Even
like,
the
"Okay."
Amazon drivers struggle. But we did. We just added the very last Plaza Bay that we added is specifically for party rooms, so people can come in. They can do a hat bar type of party. They can make
Awesome.
T-shirts with their girlfriends, a birthday party, you name it. I thought it'd be a fun way. My mom actually had the idea, but to bring people together with something hands-on, because sometimes like people they'll go to some type of like foam indoor place
Right.
and just like the typical birthday parties or like ways to get together. So it's something fun that not everyone gets to do. And I notice the interest a lot when customers come in and be able to see us making things. It's always intriguing because
right.
not everyone gets to do that unless they've had like
Right.
the desire to or the opportunity to. A lot of people might have like a Cricut at home and stuff, but on another
Yeah.
level of like actually getting to press a patch onto their
Right.
hat or like from design to pressing the shirt, the whole process. So I
Sure.
thought that that'd be a fun way for people to like have fun, get together, and bring them to do something that they might not always do. Like it's not a known thing to see. So I feel like a lot of people would enjoy
Yeah.
the hands-on part of something that they might not have ever done.
Yeah. And I feel like people are always looking for something different to do together, but like with their friends
Right.
and family that's not just, like
The
you
same
said,
old,
the
same
same old. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's something
around here,
unique.
it's somewhat limited.
Yeah.
There are some things, there are some event places, but I definitely feel like that's a
Some
good
little
fit for
niche.
the city.
And they get to wear it, so that's
Right?
always
Yeah.
fun. They can be like, I made this shirt that I
Mhm.
have on. So it's a fun experience in the moment, and they get to take it with them afterwards and
Yeah.
wear it and be proud that they made it and
Mhm.
remember, have a memory.
Yeah.
So
So, outside of just like business apparel, like obviously company shirts and stuff like that,
Yeah.
do you guys do things like is there a minimum that people have to purchase?
So it just depends on what it is. I mean, you could have promo that maybe have a higher minimum, like 100 pins, or something like shirts where even shirts get a little complicated because we have direct to film where there's no minimum, or you have screen print where you have to have at least a dozen. Signage, you can just get one sign. So it just depends what people come in for. There's different minimums depending on what method. So normally we kind of gauge like how many shirts are you thinking about or need, or whatever the item is. Like what do you need it for? and how many do you kind
Yeah.
of need, and then we can work out which
Which
method.
one's best.
If you only need
Right.
10 shirts, we might try to get you to just do the 2 because screen print might be better for you in the long run if you're out there sweating and putting a lot of
Right.
work in your shirts with
Right.
longevity. Or maybe you just need some for a cruise, so it's not worth the setup
Right,
with
right.
that, and so we're just going to direct to film them.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. They all have different minimums, but normally when we kind of gauge what you need them for and
Yeah.
what you
Right.
want and are looking for, then we can figure out what method to tell people to kind of go with.
Yeah.
We
We've
help
done
with that.
We've done a mix of both
Yeah.
screen printing
Everything.
and
Yeah.
DTF.
Yeah.
We do screen printing when we want like a big bulk order.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it tends to be a little bit cheaper too. And then DTF if we just want a couple
One-off
Yeah.
type of things or
yeah, here
small
and there.
batch you don't really plan on doing for a
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we do a lot of like pre-orders for our other, podcast, but then it's managing that pre-order and
Yeah.
getting them
Yeah.
all and then
Little
sending them it
complicated.
all. And then,
Yeah.
but now it's just, DTF, I feel like is what we'll kind of lean towards unless there's an interest, just
Yeah.
because then you can do them as you go.
You get them a little faster too, so
Yeah.
people love that.
Right, yeah, because people are impatient. That's what the
Mhm.
pre-orders with
They are.
the screen printing. They want them now, and then half the time, if they do the screen printing or pre-order, they forget
Yeah.
that they've done it, and
Now
then they
they
get a
gotta
shirt
wait.
in like a month,
Yep.
and they're like, "Oh yay, I forgot about this."
It's a surprise when you get a package at your door.
Yeah. So, do you see? Is there anything coming up for you guys, or just kind of business as usual, and trying to do as much as you can for that customer? Because you do the wide range. Are you always looking for things to add, or?
Normally it kind of comes to us, like laser engraving is something that we added. Over time, the demand kind of gets us into something. I mean, in the creative world, there's always
Yeah.
new stuff coming out.
Right.
And new things that people ask us if we offer. So we slowly, if over time, started to offer more than we did when I first started, or even working there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a interesting aspect because you kind of have to learn the ropes
Yeah.
of whatever this new thing is that people are wanting. Even
Yeah.
the direct to film, it's newer.
Right.
So when people started wanting things fast, the people who need things quickly, that's kind of the method to go for. And so we're like, all right, we got to figure out what this even is.
Yeah.
And now we've been doing it for years, so knowledgeable. But it's just one of those things because we've been screen printing in-house for I don't even know how long. So like to
Yeah.
get something new that we have to kind of learn because we care about
Find the
quality.
space
So
for
you got to
too.
figure out how to do it, how
Yeah.
to do it right. All the whatever errors might come up, how to fix
Yeah.
that. You name it. But we've slowly added stuff over time, just like the party room. Like when there's something we think people in the community would like or that our customers might gravitate towards, we try to offer it. You don't
Yeah.
want to go too crazy because
Right.
but we do
Yeah.
offer so much, and so if there's ever a demand for anything, we kind of try to tackle it and take it on.
Yeah.
So there's not too much in the works now other than just the typical growth stuff because
Yeah.
God has blessed us so much. We are growing day after day after day, but we also care about making sure all our customers, whether it's one shirt or 500, are taken care of equally.
Yeah.
So it's just the balance of making sure like we're getting new equipment in the right time so that we're keeping up with the growth, like
Right.
automatics and
Yeah.
just the demand. That's more where we're at right now because we're offering what we can offer. So
Yeah.
now it's just keeping up with the growth so
Yeah.
people don't get too behind and they're still taken care of
Yeah.
in the scheme of getting better equipment to keep up with the load because it's just a staircase up.
My favorite part is just how personal of a touch it is and ordering. One, we're ordering from within the community. Before, even in South Florida, there wasn't like a community like t-shirt shop to order from, especially ordering, smaller orders because 12 as a minimum for screen printing it's lower than a lot of the other ones that I had seen. A lot of them are like 25 or 24.
There's print shops that are like 72.
That's crazy. Yeah. And I get it. Some certain shops, when you get to that point, it doesn't make sense, because there's a lot of setup, right? With screen printing, you have to burn the screen and all of that stuff, right? But just the personal touch of being able to order from someone in our community and it doesn't feel like you don't feel like it. Yeah, exactly. You don't feel like another number, another order. It actually feels like you're ordering from like a friend within the community. And that's my favorite.
It's hard to
part.
leave sometimes because we get wrapped up in conversation.
We just talk.
And,
and we're like, we should
catching
go
up.
now.
Lunch.
Right?
Yeah.
Catching up. and
I
stuff.
feel like it's one of those things we always say because what can set you apart? There's tons of people that are
Right.
in the business. I feel feel like there's enough work to go around. You never have to cut throat your competitors, you know? And so one of the things that I always try to tell people, and anytime we've hired somebody new, all the girls at our shop know, if you know that you're giving out good quality, because obviously we're always making sure that our quality's good, what else is there left to do? And that's customer service.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if it's like we actually care, and that's what matters, because if it's just the sweetest people come in, you have like this old man surprising his 90th birthday for his wife that wants just one shirt with her picture on it, like just caring about everybody, or the event that's like, I need 500 shirts for December, because everybody that comes through that door, like, we're excited to talk to you and we want to help you no matter what the order is. Before you even tell us how many shirts you're getting or how many signs you need, like, we care. And so that's what sets you apart, is the customer service, because if you're just another number, why would they want to come back to you? And and you want to build those relationships with your customers because you support each other. And when it comes to local, because a lot of people do go online, there's conveniency there. But when it comes to local and you're supporting local, like the people that are coming in, they are helping you, but you're helping them. So I feel like it's just this connection that you can build with everybody that can make it different. If you know you're giving quality work, then the only thing else left to give is make sure that you're caring about the people around you. And that it's sincere, because people can feel that.
Oh, yeah. And you can tell when it's fake.
Totally. Totally. When we moved here and we were looking for shirts for our other podcast to give out to our patron members. You know, we were like looking to see if there was anywhere local, and we went one
I was just trying to save money, because the place that we were going to was in Philly, and so I had to pay a lot in shipping. You know, that many shirts, it was like 30 shirts. You know, it's like $100 in shipping plus. You know, and he was hard to get a hold of. I would send emails, he wouldn't always get back to me, and I was like, this isn't working. I wanted to find somewhere local, one to just save money on shipping, and then it ended up just
and then we kind of we would drive past, because
a lot of people tell us that
Walmart is over there, so we would drive past and we're like, oh, we gotta stop in there, and then we did, and ever since then, like, that was it. And well, community is everything. So even if you're not ordering, we still care. Like, what, you know, how's business doing for you? A lot of people are business owners. So it's a good portion of our customers are business owners. So it's kind of like, are you doing good? Like, are you slow right now? How's everything going with you? So just that care is a special touch, because we do that is one of the biggest things.
Almost care too much.
We hire somebody new, I was like, please don't shove them out of the door. Like, every single person that comes in, I care about. So it's not just a number. Don't try to hurry and take down an order. The order is the least important part of you taking it, you know?
Well, and then, I mean, so I see, I don't know her name, but I see one of your girls every day when I go to drop off my son at elementary. And it's just, I think, no, it was someone else, that Marine Bank, when we were actually signing up for Marine Bank. She was like, you know, we were deciding whether we were going to go with like Wells Fargo or Chase, you know, for our business account. And she was like, you know, come here. And I was hesitant, you know, going for like a local business, but it really resonated with me when she was like, listen, I live and work here. She's like, if I screw you over, like, you know where to find me. You know, if Chase doesn't answer you, And I was like, oh man, that's true. Cause like, you know, you really do, your reputation is just so much more important, and how you treat people is so important. And you guys do that really well, you know, again, just because you're living and working within, with all of your customers as well.
And grew up here.
Yeah, we are a small town. For sure. Everybody knows everybody, and if you don't know them, someone you know knows them, right?
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people, they do gravitate towards online. They go straight to online for stuff. There's the conveniency there, and people normally think that they get better pricing, and sometimes they do. Sometimes, because I mean, you can only do so much on when there's companies that are doing stuff on a larger scale, but it sometimes shocks people that you can support the people that you live with, the people that have children that go to the same school as you, or, you know, you went to high school with, or whatever the case is. Like, you can still support those people, and it sometimes is less expensive. People will come in and I'm like, actually, you know, we try to price match that site, you know, stuff like that. So I don't think people realize, like, you can support the ones that you live around, and still be either probably helping your pockets or if
Right.
not being the same.
Right.
So might as well help your neighbor type of thing.
Yeah. Well, and like there's been times where we either had like a miscommunication or something, right? And we had like a the wrong shirt or something like that.
Right.
So again, that's when it's just even more important because you guys were able to order the right one.
Yes.
We got it in 2 days and it was fixed and I didn't have to wait for shipping. I didn't have to wait for you to see the email.
Yep.
It's just that personal touch just really.
Unfortunately, you have to learn that mistakes happen.
Right. Yeah. Because we're all human.
Big
yeah.
or small, even online, every company makes mistakes. So it's very, very important how you handle them.
Yeah.
Because we are human. So
Yeah.
every single person that works with me, including myself, maybe myself out of everybody the most. I don't know.
I make a lot of them myself too.
Where every single person in the shop makes mistakes. So how we take care of our customers, if it's not their fault, it matters. Because again, it's
and
not
even sometimes when it is, not that like you guys don't, but like there's sometimes where there's a miscommunication with a customer and it wasn't necessarily, maybe they didn't read it thoroughly or maybe they were in a rush or maybe whatever. And it's like, if I can help them out, even if like technically it wasn't my fault. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have approvals to try to avoid it and everything, but life's busy for everybody. So in a lot of instances, even if it's not our fault, it's just like, I feel bad that this happened. Let me try and help. Like sometimes I can only do so much, but I'm going to do as much as I can.
Exactly.
So helping, because we all make mistakes. So if you can help somebody, I would want that in return. Treat people how you want to be treated type of saying,
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite job that you did, whether it be because you learned something new or because it was something like for the first time?
It's funny because it really does make the world go round that everyone has different interests. Because when I started working there and it was just my job, I got thrown into the embroidery. The owner had just one embroidery machine, commercial machine. She didn't know how to use it. We were contracting out for everything. And so she's like, we really it's just sitting there. I need to. So in the slower times, she would throw me on it. She's like, watch a video, whatever you got to do.
Right.
And so I would just sit in front of this machine so frustrated. Maybe that's why I'm not the biggest fan of the embroidery department. But my grandma, and we have another lady there, they take off with it. They are so impressive. I am beyond grateful for every person in that shop.
Terrifying.
They are not my friends.
They wouldn't be mine either.
They're very finicky. A piece of dust can make your whole hat turn out terrible. So that was not my favorite, learning that one. There's stuff like sublimation wasn't my favorite either. I kind of had to learn the ropes of that, trial and error with temp and time and it moving and shadow images, and screen printing was probably actually, other than design, because that's always just been my heart of liking to create stuff, like doing the logos and mock-ups and stuff. That's always been kind of one of my favorite things to do. People come with like this chicken scratch on a napkin or, just trying to tell me what's going on, what they're visualizing in their mind, trying to tell me kind of what's going on, and then me try to put pen to paper for it. That's always been my funnest part. But actual hands-on has been the screen print. It's kind of cool to see ink in a bucket turn out to be some cool design put all together, especially layers. Not everyone's seen the process behind the scenes. I'm sure you guys have. You guys have watched us back there. But screen by screen, you kind of layer the colors and it all comes together. So that part's cool of doing something so separated in the beginning, because everything's on its own screen, on its own.
Is
it's
much
called
a
transparency.
puzzle.
And then it all comes together for a design on the front, the back of a hoodie, a shirt. And so that part's cool because it's hands-on too. You're literally passing a thing of ink and you lift it up and there's something there.
Yeah.
So that part's cool. That's been the most exciting hands-on, which you would think, because it is a very laborious job. It's hot back there. We have a big dryer going. But the actual creativity part, seeing start to finish, that process is probably the most fun for me. That's my favorite hands-on thing to do, other than design, because I'll always have a special place for that.
Yeah, and that goes kind of hand in hand with each other, the design and then the hands-on putting, because, I mean, you could design something and then send it to essentially a printer, right? And then
They make it come to life.
Then it makes it come to life instead of you actually, like you said, layering the colors and everything and seeing it come from if you think of pictures, like from a negative to a full color developed picture.
It's cool to do be a one-stop type of shop, because then when we're doing the design, because some people bring us their designs already made. A lot of people already have their logos, but it's fun, those jobs that we got start to finish. They come in and they're like, hey, I just started started this pressure washing company. I don't even
Yeah.
have a logo yet. So those are always sometimes
I
the
love that.
funnest because you get to actually take their idea, their excitement of starting something new, and then you get to see it from start to finish of you help them make their design from what they said, and then now you're watching them walk around with their apparel and sticking their signs out around the streets of the logo that you made and them taking off.
Or seeing
and,
our card. Do you
and
ever
then
see
they
our
come
card?
in the next month, and then they're like, I need more shirts, and they're like, that's always the
awesome.
most exciting part is when people start their businesses and you get to see them. They come back and they're like, I'm running out of cards. I'm like, that's so exciting. So,
Right.
You start to finish is always fun in that world because you not only get to see it come to life, but you get to see it flourish with everybody too.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Where can people follow you guys and see like some of the creations you've made?
So we have a Facebook, Southern Teas. We also have a website, which is southernteas.biz. We have an Instagram, southern.teas, all our social media. The Facebook and the Instagram is probably the most that you can kind of see. We do have TikTok. That's southern.teas too. That one, I try to keep up with all of it. There's some really cool behind-the-scenes videos that we try to film on our TikTok, so that one's a fun one.
Yeah.
We try to stay on all those. Our website, you can see a bunch of the stuff that we've made and see the long list of the things that we can do. So
we didn't talk about it much, but you do fundraisers, right, for schools and otherwise?
Yes, because we do have the custom site, so people can kind of figure out what apparel or promo they want to put on a site, and we can do a fundraise store for them. That's a super popular thing people have been doing. Girl Scout troops have put together it where they're getting troop shirts and hats, and it's going to the club.
Nice.
A lot of the schools do it, so they can raise money for. Normally, it's the PTA raising money for the school, so they can do the events. It kind of goes to what they're doing for the kids, stuff like that. All different people. I mean, people who just want their own merch store but don't really want to have to deal with the fulfillment and the website of it.
Ideas.
Right?
It is a headache, but we take care of that for people.
Good to know.
Yeah. So the online stores, that's a popular thing right now. A lot of the schools do it, and a lot of just even smaller people who just they want to raise money off of stuff. We do the behind the scenes for those sites for them. That's something we offer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And where are you located?
We are 1624. We're off of US 1 in Sebastian.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're in a yellow plaza building.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
you'll
about
know
4
it
doors.
if
but
you've
one of them
never
is the
seen it,
front.
right?
Just keep trying doors until,
Right, to see
until
which one
opens.
Right. There's the party room door. There's the front. There's the
Yeah.
Yep. We're in the yellow plaza.
That's awesome. Yeah, even if they don't know where you're at, they'll be like, "Oh, that one," and like you drive
Most
past it
people
all
have
the time.
passed by. Once you see it, you're like, I drive by this all the time.
Right?
Everybody tells us we've been driving by for years. We finally stopped in.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered everything. Thanks for stopping by and talking
Thank you,
to us
guys.
for about half an hour.
It. Well, we do this all the time, even in the shop.
Yep.
So
Right.
Yeah, I told you. I told
Right?
you.
It's just recorded.
It's only a little intimidating when you first walk in with the lights and the
Right.
microphones, but once we sit down and start talking, it's just a
typical.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. You did good, Dr. Amanda Hackford. You
You
stayed
stayed
somewhat
quiet.
quiet.
Sitting in the wings. Well, thank you guys for watching. It's been another great episode of Local Lens. If you want to be on Local Lens, reach out to us, info@RileyBlackStudios.com or our Facebook page, Riley Black Studios. Just drop us a line. You can go on RileyBlackStudios.com and they can schedule themselves right now.
Click on the book now button.
Yeah, you can book now and you can schedule. As long as it's open, it'll send us notification and we'll accept it. And you come on. It's completely free to the business owners. Awesome. We don't charge anything except for your time. So thanks for watching. It's been another great episode of Local Lens.
Bye.
Bye.